Do you know what animal can sleep for 3 years without eating? Neither did I until I started hosting 5 daily trivia questions. Hi, I'm Mark Ellison. Every weekday, I'll challenge you with 5 brain-bending questions spanning history, pop culture, science, and more. Perfect for your morning commute or lunch break. 5 daily trivia questions. And by the way, it's the snail that can sleep for 3 years. 5 daily trivia questions wherever you get your shows.
If you work as a manufacturing facilities engineer, installing a new piece of equipment can be as complex as the machinery itself. From prep work to alignment and testing, it's your team's job to put it all together. That's why it's good to have Grainger on your side. With industrial-grade products and next-day delivery, Grainger helps ensure you have everything you need close at hand through every step of the installation. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Craftsman Days are here at Lowe's with big savings on the tools you need. Right now, get a free select tool when you buy the Craftsman V20 2-pack battery kit. Whether it's the backyard, the bathroom, or beyond, Craftsman has the tools to help you power through and get the project done right. Because DIYing is unpredictable, but your tools shouldn't be. Shop Craftsman at Lowe's today. Valid through 6/18 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Calaroga Shark Media.
As an American citizen, Pope Leo XIV faces the unusual prospect of filing tax returns with the United States government, with potential liability reaching 6 figures annually. The United States uniquely taxes citizens on worldwide income regardless of residence. Therefore, the 69-year-old Chicago-born Pope, formerly Cardinal Robert Prevost, must likely file American tax returns like any other citizen, experts explain. As pontiff, Pope Leo receives a €30,000 monthly salary, approximately $33,000, totaling roughly $396,000 annually. Without exemption, his estimated tax liability could reach $135,287, including federal and self-employment taxes, according to Washington accountant Hector Castaneda. This is white smoke. While some experts suggest the government might grant exemption, Timothy Fogarty, an accounting professor at Case Western Reserve University, believes otherwise. Although there is no accounting for the discretion that might be brought to bear, the new pope is unlikely to be exempt from United States income taxes. United States tax law claims the right to tax all citizens on their worldwide income. There is no blanket exception for religious personnel, nor for people who are diplomats or head of state for foreign countries such as the Vatican, Fogarty stated. The Treasury Department hasn't responded to questions about potential papal exemptions. From 2015 to 2023, Leo served as Bishop of Chiclayo, Peru, likely already navigating United States tax obligations. However, his elevated papal salary and control over Vatican financial accounts may complicate future filings significantly. No matter where a religious leader is based, they still have to pay United States taxes on their income if they keep their United States citizenship, Castaneda emphasized. The Internal Revenue Service declined to comment on papal tax liability, with a spokesperson noting that federal employees are barred from disclosing tax return information. Pope Leo may have limited options for reducing his tax burden, according to Linda Jensen, founder of Hart Financial Group. Beyond the $14,600 standard deduction, Leo might deduct housing costs if he receives allowances or resides in Vatican-provided residences like the Papal Apartments or Casa Santa Marta, where Pope Francis resided. The Internal Revenue Service permits religious leaders to deduct the lesser of official housing allowances, actual housing expenses, or fair rental value, including furnishings and utilities, from their tax bills. Clergy members are considered self-employed for Social Security and Medicare tax purposes. However, if Pope Leo previously claimed conscientious religious objection to public insurance early in his career, he might avoid those taxes. Typically, Americans earning money abroad can deduct $130,000 of foreign income, but this likely wouldn't apply to Pope Leo, since the rule excludes income from foreign governments like the Vatican. Pope Leo's American citizenship creates major financial complications for the Vatican. Under the Foreign Account Tax Compliance Act, designed to combat offshore tax evasion, the Vatican must report American citizens' bank and brokerage account details to the Internal Revenue Service, theoretically including Leo's accounts. Due to his authority over offshore accounts as Vatican head, Pope Leo may need to file Form 8938 with the Internal Revenue Service. Additionally, United States citizens with signature authority or ultimate control over bank accounts exceeding $10,000 must file foreign bank account reports with the Treasury Department's Financial Crimes Enforcement Unit. As of 2023, the Vatican Bank held $6.1 billion. As a United States citizen abroad with significant foreign ties, he has complex reporting obligations. Even the Pope might need a great certified public accountant, Jensen concluded. Pope Leo XIV welcomed Eastern Catholics to the Vatican for the Jubilee of Eastern Churches, greeting them with the traditional Easter salutation, "Christ is risen. He is truly risen." Addressing faithful from 23 Eastern churches in full communion with Rome, the Holy Father declared, "You are precious in God's eyes," expressing joy at dedicating one of his pontificate's first encounters to Eastern believers. "Looking at you," he said, "I think of the diversity of your origins, your glorious history, and the bitter sufferings that many of your communities have endured or continue to endure." Pope Leo reaffirmed Pope Francis's conviction that Eastern churches should be cherished and esteemed for the unique spiritual and wisdom traditions that they preserve, and for all that they have to say to us about the Christian life, synodality, and the liturgy. Drawing on teachings from previous pontiffs, including Leo XIII and St. John Paul II, Pope Leo emphasized the importance of Eastern traditions, particularly their liturgical heritage. He expressed concern for Eastern Christians, forced into exile from their homelands, who risk losing not only their native lands, but also their religious identity. The Pope stressed preserving Eastern rites and asked the dicastery for Eastern churches to help establish principles, norms and guidelines, enabling Latin bishops to support Eastern Catholics in diaspora communities while maintaining their heritage. "The Church needs you," Pope Leo proclaimed. "The contribution that the Christian East can offer us today is immense, highlighting the need to recover mystery in Eastern liturgies, rediscover God's primacy and mystagogy, and embrace penance, fasting, and weeping for one's own sins and for those of all humanity. It is vital, then, that you preserve your traditions without attenuating them," he declared. The Holy Father praised the medicinal value of Eastern spiritual traditions that combine the drama of human misery with wonder at God's mercy. "Who better than you," he asked, "can sing a song of hope even amid the abyss of violence?" Acknowledging Pope Francis's recognition of Eastern communities as martyr churches, Pope Leo lamented ongoing violence in regions including the Holy Land, Ukraine, the Middle East, Tigray, and the Caucasus. Rising up from this horror, from the slaughter of so many young people, which ought to provoke outrage because lives are being sacrificed in the name of military conquest, there resounds an appeal for peace. He emphasized this appeal comes not so much of the Pope, but of Christ himself, who repeats, "Peace be with you." "Let us pray for this peace," the Pope said, which is reconciliation, forgiveness, and the courage to turn the page and start anew. Pope Leo forcefully committed to make every effort so that peace may prevail, reaffirming the Holy See's willingness to help bring enemies together, face to face, to talk to one another, fostering dialogue, so that peoples everywhere may find hope and recover the dignity of peace. Making a heartfelt appeal to world leaders and peoples, Pope Leo urged, "Let us meet, let us talk, let us negotiate." He insisted that war is never inevitable and called for silencing weapons, which do not resolve problems but only increase them. The Pope thanked God for those sowing peace and expressed gratitude for Christians who, above all in the Middle East, persevere and remain in their homelands, resisting the temptation to abandon them. He affirmed Eastern Christians must be given the opportunity, and not just in words, to remain in their native lands with all the rights needed for a secure existence, recalling that Jesus, the Son of Justice, dawned in their lands. He thanked Eastern Christians for being lights in the world and encouraged them to be outstanding for your faith, hope and charity, and nothing else. Pope Leo called on Eastern Church pastors to promote community with integrity, making their communities places of fraternity and co-responsibility. Today more than ever, Pope Leo concluded, the splendor of the Christian East demands freedom from all worldly attachments and from every tendency contrary to communion in order to remain faithful in obedience and in evangelical witness.
There's always something brewing behind palace walls, whether it's Prince Harry and Meghan Markle making headlines from afar, or Prince William and Princess Catherine quietly preparing for the future throne. I'm Mark Francis, and on Palace Intrigue, we cover every twist, turn, whisper and wink. From royal drama to daily gossip, follow Palace Intrigue wherever you get your podcasts.
You know the silhouette, the squint, the voice that cuts like a blade. Clint Eastwood isn't just a movie star, he's a myth, a mayor, a cultural fault line, and maybe the last great American icon. Eastwood Reloaded tells his story one chapter at a time. The hits, the flops, the chaos between the scenes. Because legends aren't born, they're built. Eastwood Reloaded. Listen now wherever you get your podcasts.